Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avron Lefebvre, and in this video, we're gonna show you how to dial in your fixed RB-1 bindings. That's right, you bought a set of these, now you gotta get them set up. So what you're gonna need is a number 3 screwdriver to get this fully dialed. To adjust the heel straps on the fixed RB-1, we need to pop up these flip tabs on the heel and the toe strap. The toe strap tends to stick a little bit more, just be aware of that. So once you do that, then we want to kind of loosen them up a little bit. The toe strap is going to stick. This thing is a pain in the ass, I've realized, from having to adjust them. So like, it doesn't matter how much pressure you put onto them. They just want to stay locked in, which is nice because you don't want a strap that's going to release on you. But my God, when you want to adjust these, you shouldn't have to friggin' Hulk them all the way off. So now it's all the way off, we'll feed it back in gently. So once we've got those loosened up, release the ratchets, put your boot into the binding. And what we're trying to do is actually center the straps over the toe and the instep of the boot or the heel strap. So what I like to do is feed the ladder in just a little bit on each, and then I kind of just push down and I go back and forth on one side to the other because we want to try to get these as centered as possible. Now, one thing to note with the fixed straps, you can't see it on here. They actually number the clicks on the ladder. So once you know what the setting's gonna be on one binding, you can do it to the other. You don't have to worry about it. Take that down. This looks good. We're gonna lock that. And so what we want is equal pressure on the ladder and on the inside. So we want this fully centered in there. Once we've done that, now it's time to do the toe strap. And like I said, these things are kind of a pain in the ass. So, you know, you gotta use a little more pressure than you think. Flip that up and lock it. Tighten it down. That's not how you want that. You can see that that is not how you want it. So, we're gonna release that. Now what I've noticed is that this, as it's on a pin system, needs to go into the back setting. So you push in, push down, slide back, pull up. Gonna repeat that on this side as well. Slide that back, pull that up, boom. Okay, now those are sitting a little further back. This should actually line up better over that toe box. And as you can see, it is, but it's not ideal. So we pop the tab, pop that down 2 more clicks, flip that up into the locked position, tighten that down, and now we've gone too far. So 1 click would have been better. And this is where this becomes a pain in the ass, because having to pull this up just 1 takes more effort than it should. But we went 2 on that, we want 1. There we go, 1 more click. Lock that back down, push that back in. And as you can see, now that is encapsulating that toe right on the boot absolutely perfectly. Let's say you want to go over the top like TC, not like Sylvester Stallone. Release it, tighten this back down. Okay, so that doesn't look ideal. It's not fully centered. We're gonna release it, pop that tab back up. We're gonna fight this thing. You might swear at it a few times. Feel free, it's cool. We're gonna click that down, feed that back over, and there you go. Now you can rock it over the top properly. All right, so we're about halfway through this video. Hopefully you're getting it dialed in on the RB-1, but if you're not, well, that's your fault. You don't know how to operate a number 3 screwdriver. Anyways, why don't you click like on the video? Why don't you subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. To adjust the heel cup, it sits on 2 screws, one on the inside and one on the outside. Line it up with the head, lefty-loosey, and this is gonna twist more than you think to get it out. And you're gonna do that on both sides. So make sure that you take this all the way out. You're gonna just spend a little bit more time. These are very long screws. I cannot stress that enough. Once you have those screws out, you're gonna realize how long these truthfully are. Like, there is some good length to these, and you have your bolt, you have your screw, you have your heel strap with the ladder in the ratchet, and then you have the high back. But one thing I want you to know is when you're actually taking the high back off in the bolt, because it's so long, you may need something to pry it open. You can actually fold the high back forward, fit this between the chassis and the high back, and just pop it right out. There's 3 holes in the high back and 3 holes on the chassis. So heel cup will slide forward for the smallest, and if you put it in the back one, that's all the way out. That's for the biggest sizes right there. The heel cup will slide. Do not pull this all the way out. It is a pain in the ass to get back in. Just save yourself the headache of that. But for this video and purposes, we're actually gonna try to line it up with the middle hole right here on both sides. So we wanna make sure that that just gets in there. As this is my right foot, if we wanted to line up the high back to the rear edge, what we're gonna actually do is try to basically push the high back forward on the outside and back on the inside. That will make it more parallel to the rear edge if that's your thing. But you also have to make sure to take into account that you can line it up with those holes on the side. So what you want to do for this video is line up your high back into the heel cup, and then you're going to take the bolt, line it up in whatever hole you're trying to use. For me, it's the middle. And we're going to try to line that up so that it goes in to the middle one on the chassis right here. So you might have to rotate it a little. You might have to shimmy it a little. You might have to swear at it, coax it, tell it to get in its hole. Ask if it's too good for its home. If you know that reference, I'm proud of you. If you don't, well, rest in peace, Chubbs McKinsey. Once you got it lined up, do the same with the other one. Make sure you don't swear at it too much. I like swearing at them a lot, but due to YouTube's policies, I can't swear at it enough without getting demonetized, but you want to line that up. So once you have them both in, make sure that you line up your heel straps on the same holds on the outside of the chassis. Remember, ratchets out. Don't be one of those weird troglodytes that puts your ratchets on the inside on your anatomically correct bindings. But once you get it lined up, finger tighten it a few times. You just want to get it lined up. These are longer bolts, so you will be able to twist them a little bit more than you think. Do this on both sides. So once you've got these in there, take your number 3 screwdriver, really tighten these down. Just crank them. These will take more than you think to tighten them down. These are very, very, very long screws. And you want to make sure that you get them nice and tight. That way you're not going to have any problems with them. You don't want to be one of those people at the top of the mountain where your heel strap just falls off. I have seen that many times. To adjust the forward lean, flip the tab down, slide the block 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks, whatever you want. Flip it back up, lock it, boom. Now that high back is angled a little bit more. That's going to give you forward lean, which will change the response of the binding. It is all personal preference. That's every adjustment on the Fix RB-1. Any questions? All right, did we get you dialed in on the Fix RB-1? Good. That means you know how to operate a number 3 screwdriver. If you don't know how to operate a number 3 screwdriver, may God have mercy on your soul. And if this isn't the binding that you're trying to dial in, why don't you go check out our how to set up binding playlist, because I'm sure there's something in there that you need to watch.